private.
We're obviously not starting.
I'm gonna start the streaming. No, right at 6.
Okay.
Just to have it going. Like I'm literally just gonna show the.
Sure. Let people know that.
Yeah. That's the tone. Yeah.
I said something too. I said last week. I said, hey, like, so doors are open at 6. Brad hasn't called me.
What's up? My stream was on. Like, what's going on? Like, you can tell us it out. It's like, dude, say hi. Say hi.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can definitely hear everything you're saying right now.
Oh, hi, Brad. That's so handsome. Okay, let me know if you guys need anything.
Okay. Yeah.
You got it.
I'll hunt you down.
Thank you.
Six three.
Yeah.
This hey, let's go. I like it.
That's it.
Awesome. Now I know. Now I see the whole picture. You have another one. Let's see.
1 second.
Yeah, can you go stand on like in the thing really quick? Just like in the middle, on the point of that block.
We started soon. Get things set up. People are starting following here. Go Nebulas.
Quiet enough, just like low enough that it's like speaking it up is really nice and it's like pushing it down and then the speakers with like the microphone is going to be a lot louder. I'm just gonna delete this one. That's just running off the laptop. I took that one off. So that's just the laptop.
Okay, have two microphones.
Yeah, that's probably So that now it's just that one.
It's insane.
It's
You just found it. Now it's better.
okay. Cool. How long ago did you just say that? Like 2 seconds ago. 6:06. I'm just gonna do the mic off the laptop because I think it'll allow me to pick up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, totally. All good? What's going on, guys? Oh, okay, sweet. So you just want to set up the phone? Okay. Yeah.
What if we get another?
What's up? Oh yeah, we got the whole.
We need another stand.
Can I? Yeah. If can you set it right on there? Is that like a good angle?
Oh, that'd be great.
You want to be able to see what it's seeing. Let's ask. Let's find. We're gonna find.
We're trying to get another stamp.
Thank you so much. I'm just eating cigarettes time. Is it live already?
Yes. I'm gonna send a tweet out.
Wow.
Making it happen. Making it happen.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Actually, I didn't know how to do it because I haven't. Like,
What's up? Me too.
You need a wire. What wire do you need?
So I need like a place to set up the phone, and I need like USB-C to put the charger.
Okay, your charger is USB-C to USB normal or USB-C to USB-C or?
USB-C to battery. I will show you.
Okay, you show me.
Here. Yep.
So there's gotta be enough like just like in the table thing for this. Okay.
Can we just like stream this to YouTube and Facebook? That's not
That should be easy. Cameras.
pretty sure you can stream off your phone without like any wires or anything. Like, I'm pretty sure you can totally live stream straight off your phone.
I'm Matt. Nice to meet you. Actually, I'm researching kind of BlockchainBrad.
He's to come and meet you. Yeah, Jason. You and Natural. Thanks for having us.
live streaming.
What's up?
I'm trying to do live streaming on
From Facebook?
Yeah. So it should be like what's new. Like, but I didn't see the.
Yeah, what if you just go to photo? Can you do that? No. Or like, what if the camera? Like that? I don't know. Videos? Go live. There we go, right? Woo! Sweet.
Live on Facebook too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
I'm really not sure. Just as hard.
What? Oh, dude, man, that's so important. I literally would have done the entire thing with the exact setup that we had, and like it would have sounded terrible. Really shit, like.
What's up, Brad?
Okay.
What's up, Nebulas? We're gonna be going soon.
You can sit there. You can sit there. Yeah, what is this? Not that I can see.
Are you guys ready? Okay, cool, thank you.
Good to go.
Hello, boss. Is it possible to connect?
Oh, to plug in your phone? I'm going to suggest do it here because I want to make sure. I'm sure. I just want to make sure. Oh, you're from New York. Where in New York? Oh, okay, sweet. I'll talk to you. Maybe. Very cool.
So you know it'll be on live stream.
You're like the closest. See on this?
Right,
Here.
so we'll try to
Yeah.
Cheers, right?
Everybody immediately put their Nebulas shirts on. That's great. That's great.
Over here?
Yeah. Oh, you want to do all of them? What's up?
5 minutes.
All right.
Do you know this game with music chair?
Oh,
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Cal, nice to meet you, Stephanie.
You can say. That's very good.
I'm usually really nice. He's like that.
What are you doing here?
We are live streaming.
We're doing the broadcast to YouTube.
Currently it's crowded. There's a huge queue outside. A lot of people don't have a ticket, so they cannot do it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so. This is going to be incredible.
Yeah, I think you will have a lot of customers on the nice
I know you like the logo.
All right. Rock and roll, baby. Let's do it.
Rock and roll, Nebulas. What's up, blockchain boys?
You're right there. What's up? All
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there it is, Rocket. See that?
Let me see. Dude, I keep getting Austin Powers cuffs here on my shirt like he's poking out too far.
Is it scratching?
But either my jacket's a little bit too short or my shirt's a little bit too long, you know? I didn't even do the event, so it's just like it's just going right now. Like,
Hey guys, welcome. I know there's a lot of really million events going on, but you choose to be here tonight at the National Entrepreneurship Center. My name is Edith Chris. By the way, thank you for coming on time and early. So this is the first event, and I've been running a lot of events for the last 10 years. The first event that we actually have planned for about 150 people, with over 700 people on the waiting list. I think this is all thanks to Hitters from Nebulas with his charm. I call him our prince of Nebulas, who is visiting in San Francisco. But really quick, so thank you for coming. We are throwing this event. Chris and I just started this year on the whole concept of embassy. And so by the way, really quick intro of myself. My name is Edith. I'm with 500 startups. I've done about 45 investments so far for the last 3 years, all in fiat. Then about last year, I think now almost like maybe 9 months ago, I was traveling in China and met Peters, and he was telling me all these stuff that he'd been doing, and I came back to the Bay Area, telling Chris that, oh, I met this person, Peters, who was one of the co-founders of Neo. He got more excited than I do, then I realized, man, there's a lot of things that I need to learn, and this is just a crazy world. So the whole concept of this particular event series is to bring on more and more people like Hitters for all of us to learn from. Because I think there's a lot of amazing protocol out there, and a whole new world of crypto. Definitely, I am not crypto native, but barely fluent. So tonight, I'm actually going to swap role with these guys. I will be the one asking questions. So for the next hour or so, for the first 30 minutes, I will actually ask a whole bunch of questions to things that I'm curious of. And then after that, I'm actually going to open up for the audience for all of you to ask questions. I'm sure that plenty of you may or may not heard, but a show of hands, how many of you heard of Nebulas? Okay, awesome, cool. For those of you who don't know about Nebulas tonight, Hitters will tell us more about it. But before we go into the speaking session, I would like to invite our host, with Samantha. Hi, Sam. So Sam is the managing director for the Lehigh NASDAQ Center. And if it's not because of her tonight, we won't be here. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Sam and tell us a little bit about the center.
Thank you so much, Edith. Alright, welcome everybody to the Lehigh NASDAQ Center. So as Edith mentioned, my name is Samantha Daywalt, and I'm the managing director of the Lehigh NASDAQ Center, which is an academic in-residence collaboration between Lehigh University and the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center. So our mission is to educate, connect, and inspire future entrepreneurs and innovators. So we're so delighted to be able to host you all this evening for this event, and with our great partners at 500 Startups and also the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center. So I'd like to welcome Selena to come say a couple words about the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center. Thanks for being here.
Hello everyone and welcome. So we have 4 seats in front here. It's hot. I can start auctioning them off. But don't be shy. Please make your way forward. I know it's a crowded, full, enthusiastic room. We are so thrilled you're here. Thank you for your patience. I know that it was a bit jammed, and we do have very strict codes in terms of the amount of people in this room, and we are filling it all fully with our energy. So thank you for being here. People in the back, can you hear? Wave your hand if you can hear us. You're happy, you're eating pizza? Okay, great. So I lead programs here at the NASDAQ Center, and we are absolutely passionate about helping entrepreneurs unlock their potential. And we do that in partnership with Lehigh and Sam. And Edith at 500 Startups has been an incredible teacher and part of our faculty since really the beginning. So we welcome everyone, all the speakers, all the guests. We run programs continuously, and please sign up for our newsletter. It's a great way to figure out what we're doing. How many people this is their first time? Oh wow, welcome. We are thrilled and delighted you're here, so let's get started. Awesome.
All right. We are on time. I'm all about running on-time events. It's 6:35 right now, so we'll do half an hour of this. But to start, as I mentioned earlier, I am more of the fiat world VC, and I wanted to share with you guys why we're here. So according to CB Insight in 2017, there are over 5 billion raised via ICO, about 800 deals, versus only about 1 billion is raised for early stage investments. Which means that if I'm not learning about this, I'm going to be out of job pretty soon. And on top of that, for the top 10 altcoins exchanges in the world, the top out of the 10, 3 actually come from China, 2 come from Korea, and then only a couple actually come from the US. So which means that from day one, crypto and blockchain is all about international and global. Which means that there's a lot of things that we need to learn, not just from folks that we can meet in the US, but also from international folks as well. And then Coinbase, which originally estimated only 600 million in revenue, have reported 1 billion in revenue for 2017. So obviously, I'm sure many of you may be thinking about building an exchange. Probably not too late now. By the way, according to my research this morning, OKEX actually beat Binance as the #1 exchange according to CoinMarketCap. So which means that even newer exchanges can bring in more volume. So it's not too late for some of you. So with that, just to get these guys, I want you guys to just make a quick intro about yourself, your story, I'll get you into crypto. But before we start, how many of you own some sort of cryptocurrency? Oh wow, you guys are already converted. Okay, awesome. All right, why don't we start with Hitters? Tell us about how you guys started, how you started Neo and all that good stuff.
Okay. Hello. Hi everybody. I'm so excited to be here, and it's also my honor to be here with the support from our 2 advisors, Edith and Chris, and also with the support from NASDAQ Entrepreneur Center. So maybe 5 years before, I cannot imagine I can be here and share some insights and opinion with you guys. Because in this industry, we start from nobody. So anyone living in industry before, please raise your hand. Once, I think once, yeah. Because it's the power, once you're living desperate, you don't have a choice. It's the power you can use. You can think deeply about yourself and think deeply about the thing you really want to do and the thing you really want to devote. I think I'm so lucky to, nowadays I'm so lucky because this industry grows so quick and fast. So I think it's also my, lucky and being in this industry. So before my self-introduction, I will introduce our team member. So our team member here, please raise your hand. We cannot get any success without you guys' help. Please raise your hand. Yeah, you can talk. You can talk. You can talk more. With our team member. We just set our office here with full-time teammates here. So definitely, I will spend at least 50% of my time in Silicon Valley, in US. Yeah, we make things different. We want to contribute as believers in blockchain. We see all the dumps today, right? It's pumps, always the pumps and dumps. Yeah, and a lot of I check about the Telegram, and a lot of people said, "Oh, one move." Right? Only 2 words, one move. But I think the Telegram community, Nebulas, is quite good. They do a lot of analysis. They do a lot of research on this industry. They know better, the other guys in Telegram. So I checked. I saw, a lot of guys in other projects Telegram. It's no good. It's all things about the speculation. So without the real contribution and for real believers, this industry cannot exist long, right? So allow me for I'm so excited, to have some thinking to share with you guys. And okay, my introduction is my name is Hitters Xu, so you can also call me Yi Xu. So I worked for Google 10 years before in Beijing. So then in 2008, I quit from Google and started a internet company in Shanghai. So I bought my first Bitcoin in year 2012. I still remember the price. It's about 15 US dollar. Then I suddenly fall in love with this technology and this, because my startup at that time is not good. So I put my full energy into this industry. I did a lot of things like mining, exchanges, and some arbitrage. A lot of things I did. I founded so you guys probably know the Chinese child, right? The child, we mentioned that. So Bitcoiner, that's like the first, the level 1 for Bitcoiner, right? Bitcoiner, we call this a Chinese child. Unfortunately, it's also involves Chinese, actually it's a Chinese child. Yeah, I found and after 1 year for a lot of the mining, arbitraging, a lot of things, I suddenly found, I'm so lonely, about this. So we want to share experience and feelings with each other. So I founded the first community group in China. I call it as a Bit Angels Club in year 2013. So at that time, there's a very small people talking about Bitcoin and the BAC or BAO technology. At that time, the blockchain here is not so popular. So BAC is about DAC, decentralized autonomous corporation or organizations. So we feel so excited, for the group. And every time, for the group, I have organized 15 meetups in Shanghai back to 2013. And the average attendance is about 80 people, 80 to 100. And we start from the meetup, since 2 p.m. And usually we end the meetup back to home. It's about 12 a.m. What things happen, through this meetup? Because always we need to see something. We are so beside, outside the group. Few people understand us. So that's the reason we want to, go to together and talk with more about Bitcoin. So I founded the first meetups in Shanghai, and I also founded the first global Bitcoin summit in Beijing. It's in May 2014. At that time, I met with Vitalik. So Vitalik also his first trip into China. We talk a lot about the smart contract idea in Ethereum. Then back to Shanghai, I founded the first Chinese blockchain project. I named it as Ant-Shares. It's a NEO right now. So I write down the first white paper, and I play as I'm the 001 founder. I play as a CEO for this project. So the thing I did is about recruit people, and I founded the current CTO in NEO, Mr. Zhang Zhenwen. I also do the fundraising, always money, we can start the project. So no one want to invest us because it's a no company structure, and no revenue model, even no profit, no feature, right? So I decided at that time, why not, if we are so fascinated about this technology, why not we found this by ourselves? So I talk about 10,000 USD dollar, and other teammates talk about the overall. The number is about 100,000 USD dollar, roughly. Yeah. So that's the first ICO happened in China. So you know, since right now the ICO is quite popular, but we need to think deeply why ICO happened. Because that's only the purpose, only a way. It's definitely not the goal for the ICO. We want to make things happen, and we do the ICO. Not we want to make us rich, quickly. That's the reason. So okay, I talk about the Neo thing later. So definitely you guys are very interested about this. So I also.
What year was that?
Yeah.
Answer, what year was that?
What year? It's in 2014, after the global Bitcoin conference. It's about in June. Yeah, in June. So I also, after Neo, I founded the GemPay. It's also the first global Bitcoin payment company. And yeah, so you guys all know the payment like BitPay and Coinbase. They don't, they're not going very well because of the payment. Because people that intend to store the Bitcoin, not pay the Bitcoin. So after this, I also I found out for the conference side, the latest conference, the first one is the Shanghai Global Blockchain Conference, happened in August last year, and we're gonna set a new conference, the fifth one, maybe here, because I see a lot of people, so passionate about the Bitcoin technology, about the blockchain technology, and so passionate about the future we're gonna make. It's not only about Nebulas. It's about the things we believe. It's about the technology we believe. The future we believe. It's about the decentralized and the freedom. So yeah, and after that, I'm the founding director. I got the invitation from Alibaba, so I become the founding director for Enter Financial's blockchain platform team. We also call it Enter blockchain platform. So always related with Enter. So it's still the only one blockchain platform in Alibaba Group. So after after 7 or 8 months in Alibaba, I found this maybe not work, for the consortium blockchain or for the enterprise level blockchain. We need to start the public blockchain. I think there's a huge space need to improve because a lot of other public blockchain they only care about the over promotion and the over promise. They don't do the real stuff. So I want to start a Nebulas. I will introduce Nebulas later. Yeah, that's the and I go to here, and talk with you guys, and you guys see the crypto mania about half a year and 1 year. Yeah.
Okay,
That's the
Chris's turn, because otherwise I don't want to be here till midnight.
Sure. Hi everybody, my name's Justin. You guys hear me? Yeah. Hey everybody, my name is Chris McCann. I currently work at a venture firm called Greyhawk Partners, but honestly, I started getting involved and interested in all this crypto stuff way back in the day. So I first got involved in Bitcoin stuff back in 2013 when all the Silk Road stuff was going on. So if everybody remembers, back then it feels so long ago, but I guess it wasn't theoretically that long ago. And then the thing that fascinated me was a lot of the work I've done, including even now, has all been very community-centered. And when you actually look at all these blockchain projects, including Nebulas, all of them look and feel and act like open source projects more than companies. And the community and the ecosystem at large is a really valuable, if not the most valuable component to many of these projects. And so because I've just been so fascinated in this stuff, I started getting involved in learning about new projects and just doing a lot of research about them. And in early, I think 2017, I saw this little tiny thing called ant chairs. At the time, there was nothing in English about this project at all whatsoever. I literally had to take the white paper in Chinese, in Mandarin, put it through Google Translate, get back to English, which is not very good, read through it, and realized a lot of people call ant chairs or Neo like the Ethereum of China, but it actually has very unique properties. It's not just a copy-paste of itself. There's a lot of unique attributes to it. And so I put a little bit of contribution in back, and I think it was like 60 cents. And then a little bit after, the Western community found out about this thing, and you guys seen it now, it's been crazy to see what has happened to not just that project, but a lot of them. And then throughout the time, I got to meet Hitters through Edith and learn more about what he was working on, and then also the blockchain ecosystem in China at large. So, and I guess part of this conversation is I think what makes these companies' projects fascinating is all these things have to be international from day one. There really is no country barriers. Both the operations of the company, the community at large, and us. So just they need to learn about what's going on here, we also need to learn what's going on in China, because we got to realize Asia and China at large is driving a large portion of this market. So yeah, I'm really excited to learn more and get more into this discussion.
So now I'm going to sort of switch topic. You guys know that background. From my investor hat on. So recently there are projects like Telegram. Even some of the tier 1 VCs are buying into ICO projects, and there are rumors saying literally it could be $3 to $5 billion being raised with Telegram for their ICO. So I have two questions. First, do you guys think there's a bubble? And also, when you look at an ICO project, what are some of the main things you guys look for?
So are we in a bubble, and what do we look for in projects?
Yep.
We're definitely in a bubble. The question is whether it's actually good or not. Because I think the one, besides the financial aspect, a benefit to a bubble is what it does is it forces a lot of smart people to pay attention to something. And if we didn't have the massive financial increase of the blockchain industry, blockchain might have just been kind of in the background as this technology that nobody really knows about. If you go back and look at the early internet, now we think of the internet as this big thing. But when you look at the true protocols like TCP and all this stuff, this is all geeky, nerdy stuff back then. But you needed some sort of an event and activity to actually pay attention to this. So I think you should be very careful on what you get involved with and not. And I think because there's a lot of it's the Wild West. There's stuff that's good, there's stuff that's not good, there's stuff that'll last long term, there's stuff that'll be short term. But it's forcing everybody to pay serious attention to this. And then in terms of what I look for, it's the same. It sort of follows along that similar logic where you want to see teams who are crypto native, if you will, that have been in the industry for a long time, who've seen it and done it. They're not just opportunistic and doing the token for the sake of doing the token. And then you want to look at the market, what are these guys actually going after? Who do they think their customers are? And then traction, are they building a product? Do they have testnet coming out? Can they actually ship? Look at their GitHub. Look at the code. And then the other things more specific to blockchain stuff is you want to look and see does the token actually make any sense at all? Is it just stuck onto the thing for no apparent reason, or does it actually play an integral role in the system itself? And then you also want to look at the community and the ecosystem. So simple stuff you can look through the Telegram Slack group and see what people think and see what people are talking about. And then you can also see the larger ones, so see GitHub commits and are they actually putting in like error commits and or the team's actually addressing all that stuff. So you just want to look at kind of all these different pieces, if you will.
Yeah, it's a bubble, right? Yeah, that's true. So, so talking about the bubble, you can see a lot of right now. You can see a lot of air token, right? There's a token built on air. There's no real activities. There's only something about the over promotion, so over promise. So, and for the good projects you guys want, and I think the bubble is it's not so bad because the only thing you do right is go with the trend. Right? If you believe this is the trend, definitely sometimes it will be overheated. Right? So and also for some good projects for investment, I think right now this industry there's no much regulation in this industry. So all things it seems all things about the reputation. So all things about the person for those projects, like the CEO, like the founders and the co-founder, and about the white paper. I'm not very sure, if you guys invest some blockchain projects, you really see the white paper. Let me do a small post about this. Anyone invest blockchain projects who really do research in white paper?
Yeah.
Please raise your hand.
Right here.
Okay, it's about Winsor. It's about Winsor. Yeah, it's about Winsor. But a lot of people they do investment. They don't research any for the white paper. They just check the founders and the co-founder. They check about this token is cheap. You can buy it. Yeah, right. The valuation is good, right? They're gonna list it in Binance or some bigger exchanges. That would be good. That's the bubble, right? If we really check about the white paper, really check out the vision for those projects we have. That's not a bubble because after everything, after the heat not exist, definitely there are still some good projects may exist in future if you believe in this technology. Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
So for 2018, one of my colleagues yesterday, Bonnie, was saying, Bitcoin is boring, and we're going to live in a world with many, many different blockchains. For 2018 in particular, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to get a stock tip, but is there a particular area or things that you guys are really looking for that you would like to see built for 2018?
2018.
I'll start with the first one. I would really like to see a wallet that can hold all my altcoins. One wallet. I would really love to see that. Anybody building that, please let me know. And anything else like you guys are looking forward to investing in that you want to see?
Okay, talk about 2018. Yeah, I started to think. Yeah, things like starting from now, right? So 2018. So I think compare with internet and the mobile internet, it's the only thing we need to focus. It's about the traffic and user. You cannot make blockchain successful, without a lot of users and the real traffic. I mean, the real applications we can make. So the wallet is a thing, right? The wallet is a thing. And for Nebulas, we're gonna build the whole system just like a lot of people say Nebulas is a Google in blockchain. Actually, if you really check about the white paper, it's far beyond the Google in blockchain. For short words, it's about the Android, for mobile system. It's an operation system first, then we build Google, right? It's a decentralized search framework empowered by the Nebulas ranking mechanism and the Nebulas force and the incentive, the DIP protocol, developer incentive protocol, and the proof of devotion. It's a new consensus mechanism. It's a huge stuff. So beyond the Nebulas, I think the next thing should happen is about the decentralized advertisement. So if you really check about all decentralized digital marketing, or if you really check about it's about users and traffics, definitely we need some the digital marketing in a decentralized way. I think that's the thing I want to see that happen. I think we can fully support with our Nebulas, the fundamental layer for Nebulas, with the support by the value ranking mechanism, self-involving and incentive, those keywords. I'd like to see decentralized digital marketing happen in the future.
Well, yeah, I guess on my side, I guess to build on that a bit, like the obvious step 2 is like we need consumer and enterprise grade applications built on top of all these things. That being said, the core blockchain infrastructure is not ready yet really to support that. Like if you look at like core Bitcoin or core Ethereum and like how many transactions like any of these systems could actually handle, something like Cryptocurrencies can take down all of Ethereum for hours, weeks, days. Like we're just not ready yet for that. Like we need core blockchains that actually can scale. Like we need privacy. Like we need custodial like systems. Like we need to be able to merge offline or off-chain and on-chain data without using like Oracle systems. There's just a ton of stuff that like needs to be built out. And I think a lot of people are rushing straight to like the user-facing applications, but like we're not quite ready yet. Like we haven't quite built the roads yet, and we're trying to build the cars. Like we need to build all the roads and the freeways and the highway system, connect them all together, and then like we can move on to step 2. So I'm mostly fascinated by all the infrastructure stuff, and like I would love to see a lot more time, attention, and projects built out there.
I'm going to ask you a hard question. So on September 4th, the Chinese government asked, hey, you need to stop all ICOs. And on September 11th, actually asked most of the exchanges to stop as well. And I'm noticing a lot of the handful, not to name names, exchanges that literally just keep changing addresses to other places. So I'm really curious what's going on in China now. For us who's spending most of our time outside China, is that really a ban? It can lead to us invest in Chinese ICO projects?
Yeah, so nowadays a lot of people concerned what happened in China, what happened in Korea, right? And what happened in Japan. So East Asia has a lot of influence on this industry, and Asian people, they are more active in this field also. But a lot of them are speculators, and and I see a lot of Western people, they really do research by themselves. I think that's very good. So regarding to the ICO ban policy, I think you need to understand what local government is thinking about this. The local government think about the only thing in China is think about the stability. It's about the financial stability in China. So yeah, I see a lot of back to August last year. I see a lot of mania. It's the coin mania in China. So the government just shut down the coin mania in a very powerful way. The way we cannot do it in US, the way we cannot do it in a democratic country. So that's the concern a lot of people have. But to be honest, I cannot say this wrong or it's right. And things happen because a lot of people, they are just speculators. So the ICO ban policy, and I think for back to last month, still the ban policy happened. The influence about this ban policy. So far now, there's no crypto exchanges happened in China. They all moved to overseas. And so, I think back to 4 days before, there's a BitConnect conference. I saw a lot of, it's 80% people from China. Yeah, we go overseas. We have no choice. We are the digital people, right? It's a crypto people. Crypto people, no country, right? Because of Bitcoin is no country. Everything is very flat. We are very open to this. There's no choice. Yeah. So a lot of Chinese exchanges, a lot of Chinese projects like Nebulas seeking opportunities, happened in outside China, in US or in Silicon Valley. I think that's quite good, right? Because back to August, when I first time go to Silicon Valley, I think, Silicon Valley is the innovation center for worldwide, right? I believe so, right? So I go to Silicon Valley. I want to build a connection with each other, and I want to learn something from each other. But suddenly I found, crypto mania, the coin mania, the speculators happen all the time. The heat happen all the time. There's also few good projects happening in Silicon Valley. A lot of them, most of them are shitty blockchain projects. Right? They just do the tokenization, right? They just do the issue the coins, right? So suddenly I think, maybe we can learn from each other, not just learn from Silicon Valley. We can also share, we can also do the contribution with you guys. And the same time, the same thing happened in Wall Street. When, back to 2 months before, I go to Wall Street. I think, Wall Street should be the financial center for worldwide. I definitely need to learn something from Wall Street. But when I go to Wall Street, the most impressive things about the ties and the ship. Nothing else. They all stick to the rule, right? They all stick to the rule. They even don't know how to do that. Compare with guys in here, right? Here, they even don't know how to achieve that. So I teach them for a lot. Yeah, I dress a hoodie, go to Wall Street, and talk with everyone in a lot of fancy office. Why? It's nothing wrong, you dress for the dress code. It's the things about the vision you have. It's things about the belief you have. And the things about the future may happen. The real technology, there's no country board, there's no country identification. So nowadays, blockchain makes us more flat. And we learn from each other, we get connection from each other. And I think we can build something with each other. That's my point.
So as I promised, I want to keep this event on time, and it's 7:07. So now I'm going to, for the next half an hour, actually give you guys a chance to ask questions. So hold your hand up. I started that lady in yellow, and your name, and then I will repeat your question.
My name is Mary. This is a broad question, I understand that, but what are your feelings about global governments and their ability in general to stifle, control, and really exert their power over what's happening? Especially because so much of this technology is really about freedom, as you said. I'm just curious what you think that looks like, what the future could be.
Just to repeat the question, are you afraid of the government? And obviously, they may come down and say, okay, no more. Then what are you going to do?
I'll answer the very broad question in a very specific anecdote. Governments, cities, countries, companies, whatever, there are some central points in the ecosystem which they can go after. The most obvious one would be like the fiat in out. Like that is in the realm of like fiat currency. So it's really easy to go after those specific pressure points. That being said, there's something magical about let's just use Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a lot of faults, but there's something magical about if you have an address and I have some Bitcoin, you can hand me some money and I can send you some Bitcoin. There's literally no central party in charge. if I send you the wrong amount of order, there's nobody to reverse that transaction. Like, it's on us. Like, the entire custodial, the entire the banking transaction, if you will, that goes in the middle, like, we control that, and it's like up to us to safeguard that. And that's like one of the most like powerful things about this, which applies to both money, and then more abstractly, it also applies to any digital good in the middle. So like a blockchain in a very abstract sense gives you the keys to owning something. That something in the middle could be currency, something in the middle could be a bunch of different things. But I think that's a very powerful concept, which was stamped out in the beginning with the first blockchain, Bitcoin. And I think that's very, very, very hard for anybody to actually regulate. There are ways to do it, but like at its central core, like that is, there is no central authority.
Okay, so for blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, I think all regulators they feel not comfortable with. Thanks for the cryptocurrency that makes us financial free. I think now the most thing we need to pursue is not stick with the existing rule, because for cryptocurrency and for blockchain world, it's a new world. Remember this. And we can discover the new world, and we can define the new rules. I think that's the point I have. So we don't fight with the regulators. Yeah, we discover a new world, and we define new rules. And we will break the rules, the existing rules, just like the internet and the mobile internet. Yeah, we add a value.
So, hey, hi, I'm Nancy again. I have a little bit more concrete question. So when you say white paper, you mean the technology behind it, right? So a person who knows how to read the white paper, for example, do you really think they understand 100% of the technology that this ICO aims to deliver? It's a yes or no question. And then the second part of the question.
Why don't you talk about the second question too?
Okay, so there is probably 75% of the population that is underserved and has limited access to internet. How do you envision building a decentralized world serving these underserved?
Okay, so to repeat your question, first, hey, even I can read, I probably think that they're all gibberish anyway, so do you think that we can actually understand it, all the white paper? And second, a lot of people actually still don't have internet access. Are we really helping these underserved community via blockchain?
Yeah, the first answer is no. I believe few people really understand the white paper. I think the real meaningful white paper, not some shitty white paper, right? So because before you understanding the white paper, you need to have some understanding for blockchain or some decentralized technology, right? Some distributed database, and also the cryptographic, right? The technology things. And you also need to practice a little, like buying coins and transferring and using, really use that, right? And the second question is very interesting. We never know, things not happen, but we cannot wait. We are doers. We believe. That's the slogan we raised that before. That's the slogan for yes, we believe. Not the yes, we believe in Nebulas. That's not the right thing. Yes, we believe is about we believe in the new technology can empower our life. The new technology can make our living standard better. And yes, we believe it's about yes, we believe we can do that better. Everyone can do that better if you believe something, some good stuff may happen.
Hope is not a strategy. My question is, do you have a strategy how to reach these underserved
Right now, no. We more focus on the elemental operation system like Nebulas. We want to make the technology, make the operation system strong enough to maintain or to hold or to support a lot of application happen on that. You can see this blockchain is not, so far the blockchain system not so strong right now. Yeah.
Hit this side. Any question?
I wanted to ask, a lot of people say that decentralized exchanges are kind of the future. What are your thoughts about, nowadays we see a lot of, fear and doubt about centralized exchanges like Binance or Bitthumb or even Bitfinex right now? What are your thoughts about the future of DEX or decentralized exchanges?
So the future of decentralized exchanges. Chris.
Yeah, it is sort of ironic that all of the blockchain stuff is about decentralization, you own your own keys, you make all the decisions, the custodian is up to you. And then by the way, we use the centralized exchange, which is a central point of failure. And by the way, they're not using a blockchain, they're just using a straight up database. And by the way, when I transfer you and we're both on Coinbase, it's just check one out of database, check one in database, probably within the same one. Probably don't need to be paid fees because it's probably the same thing. Decentralized exchange is the manifestation of take that center point out of the middle, and I should be able to use my own hardware wallet, my own node, my own whatever, and we should be able to go through a central routing system, or go through a routing system without that being centralized. That being said, the crux of it is the user interface is quite complicated. I don't know if you ever tried to use any of the existing decentralized exchanges. If not, you guys totally should try any of them. It's quite hard. And that is in one sense because the infrastructure is not ready yet and it's not fast enough, whatever. That's another one in the fact that the UX and the design is not there yet and it's not made easy. And it's in another sense too where it has not been translated down to a consumer level experience. It's still a pretty geeky thing, if you will. So I'm totally a huge believer in that and it will come, but all those things need to be figured out before we get to that reality.
Okay, question over here. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, so my question is, as a researcher, we see a lot of these companies are a lot of new chains opening up and they're choosing Ethereum off the bat. In the white paper, you do state, or it stated that you can switch to Nebulas with zero migration fee. What are some of the plans or strategies that you have to really attract more of these dApps to switch over to Nebulas?
So many projects are built on Ethereum today, and we really, I would like to see more built on Nebulas. So what are some of the things you're doing to get more developers to be on Nebulas?
Okay, so before the answer, for Nebulas, I need to see something for Ethereum. I respect Ethereum because Ethereum brings the new dimension for blockchain. Before the Ethereum, it's only about Bitcoin. It thinks only about the send and the receive. It's a one dimension. So Ethereum runs the smart contract that makes things happen. So it's a tooling complete language. You can programming on blockchain. So and a lot of people concern about the CryptoKitty and about the networking, the speed, the TPS transaction per second issue. I think it's not fair, toward the blockchain itself. It's not fair toward the Ethereum, because back to 30 years before, when I was an internet user, in 90s, so the connection speed is also very low. I use the modem. I use the dial modem. It's about a 28 key modem. So you can browse some web pages or some sites, right? You cannot download some music and videos, and we demand for that. The internet got involved. So everything is about the demand, and it's about the accessibility and about the scalability. You get more accessibility and the scalability, then enhance a little. So it's about things like this. So yeah, regarding the question about Nebulas, it's about the about the upgrade, right? Compatible migration, right? You can migrate from applications from Ethereum to Nebulas. I think this is about the three keywords. The one is Nebulas ranking. Second is self-evolving. The last one is incentive. So I talk about incentive because we provide a developer incentive protocol. So nowadays you cannot even imagine, people, developers cannot get any incentive from applications they programmed in Ethereum. And even worse, if the application is become more popular, so they even need to pay the more gas because the computation and the data storage resources are very expensive, in blockchain. So we provide mechanisms for DIP, Developer Incentive Protocol. So for example, if someone have programmed application like the Angry Bird or some small stupid game, more people use the game, you use the application, and the game itself get more Nebulas ranking score. It's just like the decentralized credit score, right? They get more Nebulas ranking score, and the system will recognize it as a very popular programmer developer, and the system will provide the rewards to them. And I think if everything goes well, sooner or later, maybe all developers will convert into Nebulas because we provide such mechanism. Why not? If your developer win, you can easily migrate to Nebulas and you get the incentive. Why not? Not all developers, they want to have a shitty, stupid, greedy ICO. I think a lot of developers, they are geeks inside. They just want to have fun, right? Compared with 20 or 10 years before, for the, I got the first, the iPhone 1, right? At that time, they have a lot of self-programmer. They have a lot of stupid, popular applications. They just want to have fun. So we provide the mechanism, we provide the platform to those geeks to have fun in Nebulas. That's the point. But a lot of things, if you check out our white paper, we have over 60 pages for technical white paper. A lot of people talk to me, oh, this is the most intense white paper we ever seen. And you guys can easily divide the white paper into at least 5 different white paper and at least 5 different ICO, right? But that's no sense. We want to build a powerful and upgradable and inclusive platform for all people in this industry. Okay.
All right, we have time for 3 more questions. The gentleman in the back.
There's a question about the trends in general for cryptocurrencies. So I just checked the Bitcoin dip under $10,000. Ethereum is still $9,000. So my question is, will Bitcoin still become the number 1 coin in the mid-2018, the coming years, or will Ethereum or Neo or
So the question is your prediction for Bitcoin for 2018, and now is it below 10,000 or is it going to be 200,000? What's your prediction?
I'm not going to predict this. I would say maybe I'll go counter to what you were saying is I think a lot of people like to discount Bitcoin. They're it's slow, it's never going to change, 12% free, it's split, Bitcoin Cash, all this. That being said, you can't discount, it's a very simple use case, but it's a very powerful use case of store value. I don't think people fully really appreciate what that means. What other system, how else could you literally have a hardware wallet with any amount of money from tens of thousands to millions of dollars walk across the border and have that transfer you and be safe and secure without having to physically move anything or rely on central banking systems to do that. It is a simple use case, but it is a powerful use case. And you can even just look at the market cap of like gold or silver or anything you would act as like store of value. And like Bitcoin is orders of magnitude off from where it is, where that is today. Will it serve other use cases? Like actually, like in my belief, I think there will be many blockchains that serve very different use cases. There won't be one mega one that wins everything. But I do think that the store of value use case is a pretty major one that is worth a lot. So I think it's like easy to poke all the holes at Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is very important for many reasons.
Okay, I have 2 points of view for regarding to these questions. The first, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum is quite stable in this industry. If you're gonna invest, I recommend you put at least 50% of your portfolio, on Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's so simple because Bitcoin, a lot of people use Bitcoin, a lot of people use Ethereum. And the second point is about the price prediction. So I hear a lot of famous person, they did a lot of price prediction and on bet, right? A lot of kind of different strategy bet. You guys may see that. But from my point of view, if you are the doers in this industry, you are the industry people, you may don't care about the price prediction because even Bitcoin doubled, tripled, there's only small thing, the small value you add for this industry. If you really can add value to this industry, I think the Bitcoin price I think it's okay for me. Even it's doubled or even it's 50% compared with the price right now. I don't care about the price right now.
Awesome that you don't care. Okay, I'm going to give some love to the person who's at the back jumping on. Go ahead. Yeah.
Alright, so talking about scalability, there's architect, AI, and student. Where do you think you are compared to competitors?
So it sounds like there's a lot of competitors for Nebulas,
Right?
right?
Talking about protection, the Ripple as well, which is faster. So, and then you want to do DHT, you can do it on Ethereum 2.0. So why would I do it on Nebulas instead of Ethereum 2.0?
Yeah, so why build on Nebulas instead of Ethereum 2.0?
Okay, competitors, yeah, every time. I don't want, specifically talking about the competitor, right? Because I don't think they are competitors, they are contributors for this field in blockchain industry. It's still the Wild West. Everything you think about this, you do it, right? Still the Wild West, not the competitor thinking model. But for those blockchains you mentioned, I think that this, I want to say some opinion about this. It's about the vision. Because a lot of blockchain projects, they only talk about the technology itself. For example, some blockchain project talking about, how about we combine UTXO with the NVM, right? With the EVM, Ethereum virtual machine. But you can easily ask one question: why? Why you do that? What's the purpose and what's the benefit if you do that? I think a lot of blockchain projects, if you ask why, they will not answer anymore. Because for good blockchain projects, you need to have a real vision beyond on technology. But I think it's better, for those blockchain projects has the real technology. Most of them, they don't even have a technology, right? So the vision is, we believe there will be more and more data happening on blockchain. And blockchain means the data ownership. And the token itself is not only the digital currency, the virtual currency itself. The token means the command line, the command. Because in decentralized world, there's no centralized server can give the command for the whole system. The token means the data and the command you can they carried and spread out for the whole system. So that's the meaning for the token. And the three, that's a real spirit for the blockchain itself. It's a 3 points. The first one is the community. We support each other. We open source all code, and we, and for free, right? So that's also happened for ICO, the token sale. It's about support each other. It's very different compared with some good, very big company like Google, Facebook, because this structure is about top to down. But for blockchain itself, it's a down to top. It's very different, and that's the reason I don't think some big company like Google can really do the blockchain projects where it's about the gene inside. It's very different. Because if you can do that, it will never happen, for those startups in blockchain, right? Google can take care of everything. It's no way, right? It's no way. And let me think about it. So, second one. Community. The second about the token. I mentioned token before. It's about the token. That not only means the virtual currency. That means the token. That means the command line. And that means the data ownership spreading for the whole decentralized network. And the third thing is about application and the tools. So big company, they only treat blockchain as a tools and as an application only. It's totally wrong, right? For every business requirements, for business situations, I think the blockchain definitely is not the most efficient way to handle such business requirements. You need to combine with the community. You need to combine with the token, and the whole idea consists make the blockchain itself interesting and make the blockchain technology itself promising. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask the final question, last question, and then I'm going to ask you guys on the final thoughts. Okay, last question.
I heard that Jimmy Song, one of the Bitcoin pioneers, arrived to San Francisco, and as he says, he is dedicating his huge amount of time to work on Bitcoin and solving some problems that we know. Is there any other leaders, people who really works on solving the Bitcoin problems network, or some trustful unions? And can we expect some global decentralized organization who can help all this ecosystem to work in proper way?
So your question is, who else, right, other than Jimmy, that's working on the Bitcoin scalability of the centralized issue? Anybody else?
Yes,
that's your question, right?
Can we expect some global DAO, decentralized organization?
Yeah, I guess I'll answer your question broadly, and then the other one specifically. I'll do this one broadly. I guess specifically in Bitcoin, there's the Lightning Network, which I think is super interesting, and then also Rootstock, which is trying to take a lot of the stuff we see in Ethereum and turn it and version it back into Bitcoin itself. But to answer your question more broadly, I think the really interesting thing about this is typically in a startup, like a normal fiat world company, in a startup company, you have the CEO and you have employees, and the employees work on the thing, and you have you tell them what to do or whatever, and you guys all do that together. In this world, it's so fascinating because the community, the ecosystem, has ownership over the network, which is stored in a token, if you will. And the community itself has a vested interest of making that system better. So in Neo's case, if somebody wants to contribute something and add something to the network, they can. It's an open source software project, anybody can do it. in Nebulas, like you have a contribution you want to make, like I think there's somebody on the Slack group making a wallet system, you can. And you have both a vested interest and a reward mechanism for doing it. You make the system better, you make your token more valuable. It's very different than the concept of equity. Like equity in a normal company is giving out shares and a specific thing, you need a specific outcome. These token projects look and act very, very different. Like I always tell people that they look and feel much more like open source software projects, much less like traditional companies. So like to answer your question broadly, I think like everybody who holds that specific currency or token or asset has a vested interest and should be contributing, not just in buying and holding the token, but seeing how they can actually help the system. Whether that's on the technical side or the marketing side or hosting events or doing whatever, like there's many ways you can help them contribute. And people who want to see this world be created, they should.
Yeah, I think that's the reason I'm here. We want to see things happen for the decentralized DAO and the global organizations for blockchain. So you cannot do that without knowing each other, without get the real connection with each other. Because I founded the community, the technical community in China, so I also want to do the contribution, for the global organizations for blockchain. So that's the reason I'm here. And also, I think the big down today is a good thing to me actually, because in this industry it's easy to get very rich, in a very short time. And if you get very rich in a very short time, you get lost sometimes. And for example, any teammates, stay at least 1 month in Nebulas, they get super rich. They are millionaires at least. But suddenly you get the in RMB, right? Suddenly you get the millionaires. It's not very good because you easily get lost. What's the purpose for doing blockchain? You easily get lost. So I don't care about the price, for the short time. I care about the future for blockchain. I care about the contributions. So that is my thinking. For this industry, we still need. This industry is not perfect. There's a lot of shit happens every day. Yeah, we still need a lot of thinkers and doers. We get united with each other. We make blockchain world better, not only for Nebulas. So that's the reason I'm here. I want to talk with you guys more about the future organization and the future things we can do together for blockchain. We can unite it together for blockchain, not against the regulation. We can unite for blockchain and make things happen. Yeah.
So with that, all I can say, I think that blockchain redefined how we see trust, money, value, and just a completely different way of architect and design. And it's a really, really amazing. And just having said that, there's still a lot of things that need to be redefined and create. A lot of things that didn't even exist. So hopefully all of you guys responsible investor, don't invest in shitty projects and let's all spend time, learn from each other. I found it, I always pride myself that I can code, but it's so many years ago, there's so many new things that we all need to learn from each other. So with that, I hope to see you at the next embassy event, and we will probably need a much bigger venue next time, like a rock concert. But having said that, it will be sometime in March, so I look forward to hang out with you guys again. Thank you. And we still have drinks going on for another 30 minutes, as I promised. We're going to end in time. I'm sure Hitters and his team are going to be around and answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you for coming, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And thank you for answering Nurture Center.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna stop it. Or I guess I'll let it run like this. I didn't stop it. I'll stop it right now. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.